High in the Black Hills of South Dakota, four enormous faces stare out across the landscape. 4 million of visitors, they represent the history of the United States. But behind these giant stone portraits lies a story of ambition, controversy, engineering, and a mountain that was transformed forever. At first glance, Mount Rushmore looks almost impossible. The faces are so large that each president head is roughly 60 feet tall, about the height of a 6-story building. From a distance they seem timeless, as if they have always been part of the mountain. But just over a century ago, these faces did not exist. The mountain was simply a granite peak in the Black Hills. Everything changed because of one idea, an idea to create a monument so massive that people will travel from across the world to see it. The project was led by sculptor Godson Borglum. He believed America needed a monument that celebrated its history on a grand scale. Originally, other figures were considered, but eventually 4 presidents were chosen: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. Together, they were meant to symbolize the birth, growth, preservation, and development of the United States. Construction began in 1927. Few people realized just how difficult the project would become. Creating giant sculptures on a mountainside was unlike anything attempted before. Workers climbed hundreds of feet above the ground. They drilled into solid granite. They used controlled explosions to remove most of the rock. In fact, nearly 90% of the mountain was shaped with dynamite. Only after the rough forms appeared did workers use drills and hand tools to create details. The work was dangerous. Men spent hours suspended by cables on steep cliffs. Yet, remarkably, despite the risks, no worker died during the carving process. Each president represented a different chapter in American history. George Washington symbolized the founding of the nation. Thomas Jefferson represented expansion and the ideals expressed in the Declaration of Independence. Abraham Lincoln represented the preservation of the Union during the Civil War. Theodore Roosevelt represented industrial growth, conservation, and America's emerge as a global power. Together, the 4 faces were intended to tell the story of the country itself, at least one version of that story. For many Americans, Mount Rushmore is a symbol of nation pride, but for others it is also a symbol of loss. The monument stands in the Black Hills, a region considered sacred by the Lakota Sioux people. The land had been guaranteed to them by a treaty in the 19th century. Later, after gold was discovered, the United States took control of the area. As a result, many Native Americans view Mount Rushmore as a monument built on land that was taken from them. This debate continues today. For some, the mountain celebrates history. For others, it represents a painful chapter of it. Most visitors only see the faces, but Mount Rushmore contains a little-known hidden chamber. Behind Abraham Lincoln's head is a room known as the Hall of Records. The original plan was ambitious. Borglum imagined a vast archive containing important documents and information about American history. The full vision was never completed. However, decades later, records and historical information were placed inside the chamber for future generations. Few people ever see it, yet it remains one of the monument's most intriguing secrets. Every year, millions of people visit Mount Rushmore. It has appeared in movies, television shows, books, and countless photographs. It has become one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. Yet, it is more than a tourist attraction. It is a monument that combines art, engineering, politics, and history. A place where admiration and controversy exist side by side. Watching over the Black Hills, silent witnesses to history, and a reminder that even mountains can be changed by human ambition.